tell you, it's a great perspective from that book. Thank you so much. I haven't said anything there, right? But I want you to know it's very inspiring to be here with a room of so many people so dedicated to exposing child abuse. Thank you so much for inviting me. I want to tell you a little bit about that scene that you just watched. In reality, that meeting went on for 3.5 hours. My role in the Spotlight investigation was that of a whistleblower and an educator. I gave them leads on 13 Boston priests who I knew to be child molesters. I gave the reporters books to read, experts to speak with, and showed them evidence of abuse in other dioceses across the country. But then, the reporters wanted to know about my own abuse, and suddenly, I was no longer the teacher. I was a 12-year-old boy reliving my trauma. As I recall being repeatedly trapped with a priest who refused to take no for an answer, and of being too embarrassed to reach out for help, I broke down and I started crying. I didn't see it coming, and I apologized for my sudden loss of control. But there was a lesson there for those reporters. For the victims of child abuse, the years go by, life goes on, gets better, but the painful memories remain just below the surface. Yesterday, I had the pleasure of having a tour of your facility. And I can tell you that when I look at the work that you are doing in Mission Kids, the child in me is very happy. Sexual abuse thrives on secrecy. We all know that. The perpetrators count on children being too frightened to tell. The heart of your work is fighting against that secrecy. By providing a safe and a nurturing environment, you make it much easier for child victims to reveal the secret, while also helping investigators and prosecutors to do their jobs, which is to stop perpetrators before they can hurt other children. I also appreciate the work of your family advocacy program. That targets another truth of these crimes, that child abuse impacts the whole family. When that young victim reveals the abuse, you are there to provide support and counseling for the parents and the siblings too. I will tell you a bit about the impact on my family when I decided at the age of 40 to reveal my secret. Now, as I grew up, I always remembered what had happened to me, but I never knew what became of that priest. I just assumed he'd been caught and thrown out of the priesthood. But then in December of 1992, I saw a newspaper report about some men in New Mexico. They claimed child sexual abuse by a priest there in the 1970s. That priest had also served in parishes in Texas in the 1980s, and the story said he was then working in Denver, Colorado. When I read his name, Father David Hawley, the same priest who had assaulted me in Massachusetts in the early 1960s, I was just floored. That was the life-changing moment for me. I decided that it was important for people to know that the problem with this priest had started in Massachusetts. So I went to the Boston Globe and I told the reporter what had happened to me. And then I revealed my history of abuse to my 74-year-old father. He was sympathetic at first, until he realized that my story was coming out in the next day's newspaper. And then he got very angry with me, accused me of bringing a scandal to my hometown. He and I had a major fallout over this issue, And in the 9 years that followed, I did my best to get the word out about clergy abuse, but every time he saw me on the news, he felt embarrassed for himself and angry with me. I can only wonder how things might have been different had there been a family advocacy program for us. In 1993, to get access to the priest's records, I filed the first civil suit in Boston against a Catholic diocese. I discovered that over the course of nearly 30 years, there were 6 bishops in 4 states who knew that Hawley was a child molester. He was caught with kids on several occasions, but no one ever reported him to the police. They just kept moving him from parish to parish, state to state. I settled the lawsuit, angry, but I refused to agree to any terms of confidentiality because I was through with keeping secrets. The next year, building on what I had learned and my freedom to speak about it, I started holding support group meetings, collecting stories, and building files with lists of abusers and victims. In 2001, then, when the Boston Globe took on a new top editor, I was ready, and they were ready, to hear the horrible truth that the bishops in cardinal law were in on the cover-up, protecting these priests and putting the children of the Archdiocese at risk. Once the Globe started publishing in January 2002, they were relentless with their reporting, day after day after day. A few weeks into it, I heard from my father. Suddenly, his tone had changed. He admitted that I had been right there many years before. In fact, to my great surprise, he said to me, "I'm proud of you." And then he chuckled. "Yeah, give him hell." So in closing, let me pass along that sentiment. You folks here have made such a difference in the lives of so many children. You should be proud of what Mission Kids has accomplished this past decade. But if there's more to be done to stop child abuse, and with this issue, you know that there always is more, I hope that you too will rise to the occasion and give them hell.